In this quick tutorial, I'm going to show you how you can easily find how much RAM do you have on your Raspberry Pi board using the Raspberry Pi operating system or directly the command line interface. So this will mainly apply from the Raspberry Pi 4, okay, because on Raspberry Pi 2 and 3, for example, you could only have 1 GB of RAM, so you already know how much RAM do you have. But for example, if you have the Raspberry Pi 4, you can have either 1, 2, 4 or 8 GB of RAM. And there is a simple way actually to check how much RAM do you have, is directly on your board, on the RAM here, you have a reference code that corresponds to, for example, 2, 4 or 8 GB. But problem is, maybe like me, you have installed the heatsink, so there is no way you can actually see, and I'm not going to remove the heatsink just to see the RAM. So what you can do is power on your Raspberry Pi and go to the desktop. So I'm going to show you two different ways from the desktop and also using the command line interface if you don't have the desktop, if you only have the terminal. So on the desktop, you go to the menu on Accessories and you can click on Task Manager. And here on the right, so you have the CPU usage, and on the right you have memory, and you can see the memory usage and the total memory. So here, as you can see, my version of the Raspberry Pi has 2 GB of RAM. Great. Now, a second way, if you have only the terminal, so if you can only get access through a command line interface, for example with SSH, what you can do, for example, is to type top, so use the top utility. Okay, so you have a lot of stuff here, but basically you can see here memory, okay, you can see 2 GB, okay, you can also see what is used here, what is available, so from that you can guess that you have 2 GB. And maybe a nicer interface is the command h top, which is just an improvement of top. And then you can see so much more information. You can see the different cores and the RAM here, memory here. So you can see 1.8. So that's 2 GB. Okay, so that's another way to find how much RAM do you have. And to quit, you can press on Q. Alright, and with that, you know how much RAM do you have on your Raspberry Pi board. If you liked this video, subscribe to get more tutorials like this in the future. Also, check out my online courses so you can learn Raspberry Pi step by step in an efficient way by practicing and directly going to the point. Links in the description. Alright, thank you for watching. See you in the next tutorial or in one of my courses.